What is up, Rat Potential YouTube followers, people of the internet? Back in the shop, working on this turd. So, here's where we stand. I've been working a little bit and not filming, which is like kind of normal for around here. So, this is what we've got going on, as I just repeated myself. Anyways, I've got the new fuel pump hooked up with some just long tubes. It's laying down there on the bottom, if you can see my tray. So, what I did is I hooked it back up from the... deleted the filter, put a new filter, put the fuel pump in, hooked all that up, hooked up new lines, hooked it up to the rollover valve, which I hoped worked, and it did, so that's good. So the rollover valve was plumbed back to the hard line, underneath the car, back up to the front, and into my bowl. Did you get all that? Okay, yes you did. Now, repeat it if you, or rewind if you need to get it again. So, what happened was, once I did that, I kicked the fuel pump on, it's running, no fuel coming out. So where do you start whenever you trying to chase down a fuel pump? Obviously at the end. So I'm up here looking around, whatever. Come to find out, there is a leak in the line right here. See that? Rusted clean through that hard line. So, what are the options or the causes or whatever? You can kind of see some rust bubbles, like right there, maybe, a little bit of a mess. The inside of the line looks like complete garbage. The return line, the inside looks pretty trashy. So, what I do? Well, I pulled the fuel line off the hard line down here, and I can show you this. So I just got her nice and readily available right here with my jumper pack. So, we have fuel pump, fuel filter, because we don't want to suck good junk through our fuel pump because it's good. That line right there hanging out in nothingness goes to the hard line that then runs under the car. So I disconnected it, obviously. Whenever I turn on said fuel pump, wait for it. Woo! We get fuel coming out, yay! It's what we're wanting, good flow, and it's not leaking everywhere. Okay, I'll turn it off now. So as you see, I pumped some fuel out of it. Anyways, where we're not getting fuel is at the engine. So, what am I going to do? Well, I really don't want to run a whole new hardline under this car, because that is a real pain in the rear. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, which it's going to be such a pain in my butt, I'm going to disconnect the hardline down here. Let me get my flashlight out. So right there, all the hard lines come up the frame, right? Let me pull this back so it's not over bright. Right where that 10 mil bolt is, right about where it's super bright there, holding that retainer. So the fat line there is the hard line from the feed line from the fuel, and the skinny one is a brake line to the rear of the car. I think I'm going to take that 10 mil bolt out, slide this hard line off, I'm going to cut it down there, and then run a rubber line from down there all the way to up here, and see if I get flow. Because, one, it's leaking right here, which is no bueno. We can't have fuel leaks. This thing burning straight to the ground. All that rotary fire. So I've got to get rid of that section. No way I'm cutting it behind the brake booster. Can't really cut it up here. Hoping the rusty part's up here because I'm getting fuel to there, obviously. So, we're going to cut it down there. Let's hope that, we're cutting fuel lines here. This is no bueno. So let's hope we don't light the place on fire, cutting the fuel line. Alrighty, this is going to be a first-hand update of some destruction. So, I pulled the fuel line loose. Look at that. Literally broken in half. Not really half, but this whole front section broke off like that. Look at that. Gee. No fuel getting through that thing. Man, that's some junk right there. Serious junk. This thing needs a new fuel line all the way. Still going to cut it and see if it cleans itself out, but whoo, that's a mess. This is like what barn find nightmares are made of. That's supposed to be a pipe. Like water is supposed to be able to go through that. Like travel through it. There ain't no way. Alright, well, let's cut that thing, I guess, and see what it looks like. Alright, so I don't really know why. We're coming at you with some more live action. Live action. So, fuel line right here. Nice, clean cut. Still a little, we'll say, grimy on the inside. This is the tool. It's basically loosen this baby up, slide over the fuel line, tighten it down. It's got two little rollers on that side and a little wheel, and you just tighten it a little bit, spin it, tighten it, spin it, tighten it. Boom, $6 at your local auto parts store. So, what do we have? We've got the pump hooked back up to the hard line. We're going to turn it on, see if we get fuel coming out up here. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh! It's dripping. Alright, so now, let's put some, oh man. Of course I would do that. You know, put it on and turn the pump on and have it literally spray fuel everywhere. I'm smart. Actually, I'm just really irked at this car. So, we're just going to go ahead and stick this piece of fuel line on here. You're seeing my face now. You can see what I'm doing. Doing this with one hand just for you guys. Might have to get under the car to do this better. So if there's some strategery in where, why, and how I cut it right here. So in the strategery is, how's that concrete floor? The strategery of the whole setup is there's a mount point right here by my finger that holds the line, so I can put that back on and still have the line there. So I'm going to put you down so I can. Alright, so here's a more scientific update. Oh, that is yummy. Now she's fresh and clean. See how nice it is? Let's leave you off. Okay, now the plan. This is the return line right here. So I'm going to hook that up to the return line, turn it on, and I guess we'll just see what happens. Grimy, like I said. Alright, so after a mild bath and fuel, this is hooked back up there to the return line. I turned it on, it pumps great, flows out the back. So I've been seeing some nice. We'll just slide on under here and give you a first up close look at this fuel system. So, right up here you've got feed line, return line, this one with it off right in the center, and there's a little vent line over there. So, the return line is flowing fuel back here, which is good. So I think we're ready to we'll go ahead and hook the carburetor up and see if it fires up. Hopefully, it should. I have faith. Alright, so everything's hooked up. This is first start. And I didn't ring the key. Okay. First start, take one. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh! It ran! Did you see that, dog? Ooh. It's probably mega flooded now. Oh, she's healthy. I guess we ought to open the garage door. Major success. Major success. Alright. Now that we know it started a little bit, we can start figuring out this whole actually nailing down the fuel system. Look at that, it made smoke. It started. See if there's still fuel in the balls. Yes, there is. Not super wet in there. Look at that. Alright, well, I'm going to get this set down on the ground. My air compressor died. It makes 0 PSI, and I have no way to air up tires. So, this is going to get set on the ground. I'm going to zip tie up the fuel system, the sketchy fuel system. And ideally, get this thing started back up and drive it out so I can get that one in here and then eventually that one in here. Let's do it. Alright, y'all, final update on this white car because I'm getting ready to push it out of the garage. So, as you saw, I got it started. There's a big fuel leak back here on the back of the carburetor. So, Charles is going to come look at it. I'm not a Nicky carburetor expert. If you wanted me to work on a Holly, I got you, or a Weber, I got you, but I don't know too much about these. So, he's going to come look at it, hopefully figure that out. We got the fuel lines fixed, fuel tanks in, the fuel pump's all zip tied up out of the way. I'm going to get a stock fuel pump for it, so if you know somebody with a stock one, hit me up. It can be used or whatever, but I need one. Tires are flat, but we're going to push this thing out. So, because it's getting late and I want to be fancy for cars and coffee. So that needs to come in here so I can adjust some suspension. So that's what's happening next. I may try, I'm just going to roll this out of here. Ideally, I'm going to be sitting in it. I may try to get it lined up so I can take a picture of all 3 white RX7s in the same spot. Which would be cool, I think. Maybe? I don't know. So y'all, check out that view. We got the FC, we got the FD, and we got the FB. All the Fs in a row. And there's an SA over there too, hiding in the shadows. 2 more SAs up here. Rotary Truck Cosmo. Look at that. Tons of generations of stuff here. I just think it's cool that, well, one, there's not very many chased white 94 FDs, so for people who have seen a real chased white. 2, to see these 3 cars in the same place. It's pretty cool. Same color, looking fresh. I'm into it. Alright, so I'm going to move the FB back over there. The FD is going to stay where it is. I'm going to pull the vert inside and adjust the coilovers. Let's go, buddy. What you got? Ball. She chases around these little nuts. Whoa! Alright, so the vert's in the garage. This is what I was talking about when I need to adjust this. So if you look closely, you can see there's another hole right there. Well, I didn't know that. So I got to move this front bolt to that hole, which will let me slide the shock top inboard, which will let me take out some of the, give it more camber. So we're probably just going to max it out and see what it looks like. So we're going to go for that on both sides. So if you look, like the rear isn't camber adjustable, I don't have adjustable arms, and it fits pretty good. So a little more like flushy flush than I'd like to be, but this is a 255, so it's a pretty big tire on an 1810 plus 22. In the front, this is an 18.9 plus 22 with a 235, or no, actually a 245 on it, I think. No, it's a 235, sorry. So 235/40, which is a pretty decent sized tire, so I just need to pull it in. The rear fenders are rolled, so is the front. So the reason I had to keep the front jacked up is because I couldn't pull the camber in and I was rubbing. So now that I can tuck it in a little more, she should look a little better, and I can probably lower it a half an inch or so in the front. So we'll kind of play with that a little bit too. The rear is good at the ride height that it is because it rubs if I hit a huge bump, but if I don't hit a huge bump, it should be okay. For normal driving, it's fine. It survived the dragon like that and like this, so without major rubbing. Now it rubbed every now and again on some of those big G outs, but she's doing good. Little update: I need to make a new shroud out of aluminum because it's eating it up. My fan keeps hitting it, and I don't like that. So, yeah. One of those things you think of after you do it. So, the dog has got her trick bed over there now. So, let's get to work. Alright, so Letty helped me adjust the camber. We got, looking a lot better now. So, I still think I really want to lower it just a tad in the front. It's a little high. I think I'm going to jack it up real quick, take the springs loose, and just drop it like a 1/2 inch, I think, on the coil spring. 1/2 to 3/8. I'm just going to mark it, roll it up, drop them down, see what it does. So, I'm going to do that real quick. Just because it's not quite like, it's a little tall right there compared to the back. So I'm going to get this one raked down a little bit. So let's get it. Y'all, ride height has been adjusted. Just the front. So here's the new ride height. Really? Oh shoot. It's only about 1/2 inch lower in the front. So here's the side as well. Just looking nicer. And then also notice the wheels fit a little better in the front now. In the back too. So they're cambered in a little bit more. Less likely to grab my fender. Which is good on both sides. So pretty stoked. Alright, so didn't get the mouse, but that's okay. So basically, excuse me, I'm going to end the video here. All I'm going to do is wipe this down for Cars and Coffee tomorrow. It's supposed to be cold in the morning. I'd rather come out to a warm car already. So the plan is, in the morning, because it's like midnight right now, I'm going to, which is like 6 a.m. because you got to get a good spot. So in the morning I'm going to come out here, I'm going to get this thing out. I'm going to pull the FD in here. And then I'm going to go to Cars and Coffee, run a couple errands, come back. And then we're headed over to Will's house to work on the drift car. So that should be pretty fun. But for now, thanks for tuning in to the 3 RX7s of the same color, in the same place, doing rare stuff. Not so much with the FC and the FB, but with the FD, because I'm pretty sure there's only like 200 and some change manual 94 whites. So she's a pretty rare bird. So, next video, oil pan gasket, or well, you can't even see me. Next video, oil pan gasket change. In that, it's going to be super fun, let me tell you. But I will show y'all exactly how to do it. So, thanks for tuning in on the Rad Potential YouTube channel and following all of the rad stuff that we're doing out here at the Rad Ranch as Letty photobombs me. Taking a leak in the background. So, if you want to stay tuned, or if you are going to stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, and we will keep doing fun rotary stuff. Usually I play with the old schools, but occasionally we get some new schools out here. Keep it rad.